Today I'm going to pose you guys a question, and it may be a question that you've already spent some time thinking about and you probably already have an answer for it, or maybe it's something that you haven't given a lot of thought to, and through the course of this video perhaps you might be able to give a good personal answer to why you are the way that you are. And the question, when you break it down, is also simple and sort of complex, both in the same handful. Why are you a fan of Siege Esports? What makes Rainbow Six Siege competitive or professional play so worthy of your time that you opt to spend time watching it streamed on Twitch, or following professionals on Twitter, or being part of discussions in my comment section, or in other people's videos, or making videos on it yourself, or on the R6 Pro League subreddit, or anything like that? Why does this scene, why does this esport captivate you as much or as little as it does? And why is it something that you pay attention to? I first started getting into Siege Esports right around the time of the Pro League Season 8 finals in Rio de Janeiro at the back end of 2018. And since then, I just grossed over Wikipedia pages. I tried teaching myself as much as I could about exactly how the sport works. I found out the notable players, the teams, everything, just from doing a whole bunch of hardcore long research and trying to educate myself about the scene as much as I could. Eventually, it would turn out that that was a really, really good formula for being able to start a YouTube channel about this kind of stuff, but I know everyone's story is different. Now, I could totally just end the video right here and say it's impossible to try to document or figure out why people are fans of the things that they are. You know, I will never dispute that fact, but it's still something I find interesting, and I like being able to generate discussion and give people a platform to talk about this kind of stuff. That's exactly what happened with the video I made about why I don't think G2 is deserving of a spot at this year's Six Invitational. It got a lot of people talking, and everyone, whether it was, civil or otherwise, I mean, there were paragraphs dedicated to just trying to take me down in that video. Everyone's story could very well be different. However, if we were to take a good hard look at it, I think most of us actually have pretty similar reasons as to why we like watching Siege at a professional level. Some of us are here to just watch good Siege. Some of us are here for the competition and the storylines. Some of us like to support players because they've made content and we're fans of their content. Some of us like to support orgs across esports. Some of us like the production quality or the casting, or are fans of specific regions because that's the region that they live in, or they support specific teams for any reason or another. And I think a lot of these things can all be boiled down to a couple specific reasons as to why we are the way that we are. We all come from different backgrounds. We have different levels of interest. And another reason why I find this question so interesting is because of the sport itself. Siege has not been in a spotlight in the esports industry nearly as long as most of its other competition at, a much higher, tier 1 esport echelon, because of how little time it's had to really start to grow and flourish in its own right. So the answers that we as fans can give about why we are fans can't be something like, I've been fans of this team or this region or this sport for this long, because we haven't had the 10 plus, 15 year plus longevity as some of these esports like Counter-Strike or Dota or League or anything else that's had that kind of longevity. We're still trying to break out. I don't think Siege has hit its peak or has come even remotely close to its high point yet, and I think the future for it is looking really, really bright, provided some people don't screw some things up. From all of my time spent in the scene, even, months and months before I started to create YouTube content for it, I've been seeing people have different levels of interest in terms of who they support, what they enjoy seeing, a whole bunch of different opinions about their individual involvement with Siege Esports, and every single time it fascinates me because we all come from different areas of life. We all have different, amounts of time that we can spend consuming this kind of media. It's a genuine question, and I think I'm looking for some genuine answers. So, here's what we're going to do. In the description of this video, you're going to find a Google form that has about 15 or maybe 20 questions that just go into how much involvement you have in different areas of Siege Esports. Do you support teams or regions or individual players? And there's some space in there for you to also include your own personal comments trying to analyze Siege fandom from as many perspectives as possible. Now, so the form itself shouldn't take that long to figure out, but that's entirely dependent on how much other information information about your personal experience that you want to include. If this sounds interesting to you, then please don't hesitate. Hit that form, fill everything out, submit all your information, and then I'll probably do a video on this later, mulling over the data, doing like kind of a reaction to how these results turn out, and then maybe even reading some of your accounts about why it matters to you or how you got into it or your reasons for continuing to consume this kind of stuff. And I'd love to get more audience interaction in on this stuff. So fill that form out. I'll give it maybe a week to a week and a half before I do a results video on it, and we'll see how you guys turn out. And with that, that's all from me. I really appreciate you guys taking a couple minutes out of your day to listen to me talk on something that's not an issue. It's a question that I had. I thought it was something that was interesting to talk about, and I do appreciate your patience as I try to get videos coming as quickly as I can, even amidst a whole bunch of other stuff happening in my life at the moment. Please hit up my Twitch, my Twitter, and this YouTube channel for more in the coming days. Please and thank you, and be sure to watch out. I'm hitting my mic for 15,000 YouTube subscribers, because when that hits, I'm dropping a Patreon link on you. Take care. I'll see ya. Peace!